Today we're going to do some French knots. So some people get really put off by French knots. They can be a little bit tricky to get the hang of, but hopefully I'll explain it well and you'll get the hang of it quite quickly, but it's all practice. So there, that looks better. Okay. So you can see I've done my 2 stab stitches there, and I'm using at the moment 4 strands of the stranded cotton, but you can use as many as you like. So you could use 1 would give you very, very tiny French knots, or you could use 6 to give you bigger French knots. Totally up to what you are doing. So I'm just gonna put them randomly around this circle. So I'm going to start fairly close to the center. So I bring my thread to the front, and what I'm going to do with this piece here, I'm going to wrap it around the needle. Okay, just once. You can see that little wrap around the needle there. And then you're going to bring your needle back down into the fabric, not in the same hole that the thread is coming from, but very close to it. So not the same hole, but quite close. Okay, you're just going to put your needle into the fabric there. Before you pull it through, what you're going to do is this little wrap that's around the needle, you're going to use this hand to bring it down to the fabric. Okay, so just like that. Now it's down sitting on the fabric. All right, so when you get to there, that's when you can pull your thread through and you get a nice little French knot. Okay, I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do it over one of my stab stitches to cover that up. So come up and you're going to wrap once around the needle, just once. Then you're going to put your needle in very close to where your thread is coming from. Not the same hole, but very close. And then the piece that's wrapped around the needle, you're going to bring it down along the needle till it touches the fabric. And you're going to use this hand to do that. Okay? So just pulling it down to there. When you get it down there, you can pull your needle through, and then you can let the thread go and just pull that. Okay, so one more time. You bring your thread up, wrap once around the needle, put the needle back through the fabric, bring the wrap down, and bring it through. Okay, so that can give a very nice effect if you bunch them together. It gives a nice textured look, or you can always use them as kind of little flowers, very tiny flowers on the ends of stems and that. So at the moment I'm using the 4 strands, that gives you a nice size knot there. If you want bigger knots, some people will say to wrap more around the needle, but technically that's not really a French knot. That's more like a French knot with a little bit on top. So if you want bigger French knots, you use more threads. So of course you can use more than the 6 strands that the thread comes in. You can use as many strands as you like, as long as you have a needle big enough to hold them. You could always use wool or ribbon or something like that if you want much bigger French knots. But remember to only wrap once. Now the other thing you can do, you could make them a bit less traditional and a bit looser. So if you come up, wrap around and make them a lot looser. Oh, that went too well. So if you just make them a bit looser, they can start to give us different sort of effect. Or you could always give it a bit of a tail. So instead of going down right beside it, you could go down over here. And your French knot has a bit of a tail on the end. So you can always play around with that. As they say, once you know how to do it properly, that's when you get to experiment. So that is your French knot. I hope you're not afraid of it anymore. A lot of people tend to be afraid of them. But hopefully you get the hang of it soon enough. Just plenty of practice. Take it slow. And try it out.